I have a document in front of me with a few sentences, and it's the same sentence copied three times. LibreOffice Writer provides us feedback if our spelling is wrong. If we notice, some of these spellings for some of these colors are spelled wrong, and the way LibreOffice Writer provides us feedback is by underlining it with this red wavy line. And we see that the red wavy line is appearing many times here in this document. Let's explore what options we can use in LibreOffice Writer to correct these. The first one is the manual way of doing it. We see something underlined in red and we manually place the cursor there and we correct the spelling by adding or deleting some letters to that word. In this case, I fixed the spelling mistake for orange. Let me also fix it here and here. Now, we could imagine if this document was really long, I will have to do a lot of scrolling and a lot of clicking and correcting. So LibreOffice Writer provides us with a few tools that we can use to correct the whole document a little more easily. And to do that, let me place the cursor in the beginning of the document and then click on the tools, spelling and grammar. When I click spelling and grammar, this is the dialog box that appears. And we notice that there are a few sections. The text language says English USA. Not in dictionary section says this word, which is in red font, is not found in LibreOffice Writer's dictionary. So there is a list of words against which LibreOffice compares what we are typing, and if that word is not found in its dictionary, it will mark it as a word with the wrong spell. So to correct this, it also is providing me with a few suggestions. So I can choose the word violet here, or I could also click here and type the letter O to fix it. I could either choose the suggestion or I can manually fix it. And once I do that, I can click on correct. Let me close that. And we see that the word correct violet has been corrected. Now there is another option called correct all, and the function of that is to correct all the instances of violet in the entire document and not just the first instance that we came across. Another option I have is ignore, which is ignore once and ignore all. Let's say that I want to leave the spelling INDGO just the way it is and I don't want to correct it to the right spelling, which is perhaps already given to me in the suggestion. I want to keep the wrong spelling. What I can do is I can click on ignore, and when I do that, it removes the red wavy line. It is ignoring this spelling mistake. If I want to ignore all the instances, I could do that as well by choosing ignore all. So blue, I want to ignore all the instances of blue. I could click on ignore all, and we notice that the red wavy line has disappeared from all the letters. So we have seen what ignore once and ignore all does. We have seen what correct and correct all does. Let's now look at what always correct can do. Always correct is an option where we are teaching the software about our habits and how the software can correct us automatically. For example, every time I make this spell mistake, GREN, I want the software to automatically correct it to GREEN. So I can do that by, right now this is the word in question and this is the suggestion that I'm choosing, and I can click on always correct. I could also make some manual changes to this and click on always correct. That's the same as choosing something from the suggestion. So GREN, every time I type it, it the software should understand that I'm trying to type green and correct it automatically. Let me demonstrate that to you. For that, I need to choose always correct and close. Notice it didn't change this instance, but the next time I type out GREN and press the space bar, it automatically corrected this word to GREEN, and that's the option available to us under spelling and grammar with always correct. So we've seen always correct. Then we have not seen is add to dictionary. Again, we've already said that add to dictionary adds a word to the dictionary. So let's go and ignore all grens because I want to move to Rajesha. This is the word I want to add to my dictionary so that my dictionary considers this as a noun and doesn't mark it with the red wavy line and call it a spell mistake. So let me click on add to dictionary and then close. And we notice that the red wavy line has disappeared from the word Rajesha as well. Now, there are times when we may want to remove something from the dictionary that we have added by mistake. For example, I wanted to add Rajesh and not Rajesha. So I can also remove that from my dictionary if I have done that. So let's see how we can do that. Under spelling and grammar, we need to choose options. When we go check out the options, the first thing that we need to do is user-defined dictionaries. Click on standard, that's already chosen, and click on edit. Now we notice that this has been added by mistake, so I want to remove this addition so I can delete and close. We notice that this spell check has come back for this word. Another thing I can do is go to ignore all list. I have chosen to ignore blue, green and yellow. I can remove all of those words as well so that every time I make that mistake, I want it to be highlighted as a spell mistake. So I have removed all of that from the ignore list and then I close. And that's the way I can get back these spell checks. So quickly, what we have learned in this video is to use the spelling and grammar option, and we have seen what ignore a spelling means, and ignore all is to do the same thing for all the instances. Correcting a spelling and correcting all the instances. Always correct is to teach the software how to correct my spell checks, my spelling mistakes, and what it means to add to dictionary. We also saw under options that we will be able to remove any additions that we have made to the dictionary or any word that we have added to the ignore list under options. One last thing that we need to notice before we end this video is how to get this entire feedback system going. By default, LibreOffice Writer doesn't provide us with this kind of a feedback for spelling. So let me demonstrate. Let me close this document and let me open a fresh LibreOffice Writer. And let me type the same sentence I had typed before. Now let me make a mistake in the word violet. And we notice that it's not giving me any feedback. And the reason why it doesn't give me feedback is because if we notice at the right, that bottom of the document, it says English India as the chosen language. We need that to be English USA. Let's see how to change that thing quickly. Tools, language, for all text, choose English USA. The reason why we need to do this is because the publicly available list of words which are accepted are listed under English USA. and the project for English India is still going on, and that project is not implemented on my computer. So even if I've chosen English India, it will not show me wrong spellings according to this dictionary. According to this English USA dictionary, it can check for all the spell mistakes. So let me choose that, and I choose. As soon as I do that, it's giving me that there are two spelling mistakes here. So this is a spell mistake because this is the UK spelling for the color. Let me remove the U and it will accept it as the correct spelling. And let me add the letter O and will accept that as the correct spelling. So that's something that we need to keep in mind. Tools, we should always have this one checked, automatic spell check, and under language, we should always have chosen English USA. These two options need to be checked for us to use the spelling and grammar options.